Welcome back to Barrio Chef Mike Gonzalez. Super excited to be with Anna Salazar from Raul's Cocina in Glendale, Arizona. If you guys haven't been there, I mean, this place is amazing. They do vegan Mexican, they do Latino food. Anna, super excited to be with you. Thanks for joining us on your day off.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. So, first of all, before we get into this ceviche that you're going to make, I want people to learn about Raul's Cocina because it's really unique in the sense that you guys do vegan food, vegan Mexican food, and people are just absolutely loving it. When did you guys start and how did you decide to come up with the concept of doing vegan Mexican food?
So I actually started in 2014. I worked in corporate America for about 20 years as an admin. And I got a severance pack in 2014. So, wasn't quite sure what to do. And my son was like, you should, sell salsa at the market. And, I thought about it, and you have to have a commercial kitchen, you have to have your permits and everything. So it was a little bit hard to start up. So he talked me into doing it. And he designed the logo, he did all the paperwork, the background stuff. And we have family in the valley that have restaurants. And so he said, ask one of them if you can, get a permit and needs a kitchen. Because it's just, so many hours a week and not a lot of storage and things like that. So I did that, and my cousin Diane, helped me out with that. So we got a permit out of her kitchen, and we started just with hot sauce and salsa. We took that to the market, and then we started to see the other vendors, what they had and what the demand was out there. And we noticed a lot of vegan stuff. And my brother's family, they're vegan vegetarian. And so I had been cooking like this for quite a while for them, so altering the dishes that we had, like traditional dishes, to make them vegan. So I would look at menudo, look at albondigas, look at the different soups. And the main thing was tamales, because that's our tradition. We've grown up with that culture. And, every Christmas, season, we have our tamales. And, they would kind of miss out on it because I didn't really know about vegan cheese. And so, they don't do dairy either. So I learned about jackfruit, and, I bought different types of jackfruit, fresh, canned, some in brine, some not in brine. So it took us about a year to do the jackfruit recipe to get the tamale down. And so little by little, we just added to the product list. I see people make hummus, and that's vegan, so I wanted to be a little different. We did chickpea salad instead of hummus. And then I saw the soy riso in the store, and I noticed a lot of people don't use soy. And so we do mushroom chorizo instead. And then meat substitutes, they want their protein. A lot of them want clean food. They don't want the soy products in there also. So we do a walnut taco meat. So we just started adding little by little different products to the line, and everything was prepackaged to take to the market to sell. And then a lot of people was like, do you make horchata? And I said, no, but we can figure out a recipe. So we do a cafe horchata as well. And then everybody loves their cold brew. So we do a cafe chata mix. And then we came up with different flavors. So seasonal pumpkin horchata, we do a cocoa horchata. And so all of it, again, all prepackaged, taken to the market. And a lot of customers, do you have a brick and mortar? Not yet, we're working on it. And so that was the last thing, was to do the brick and mortar for us. And so that's how we ended up with our little shop here in Glendale.
How long have you been at the spot? Because you guys are at 7149 North 58th, kind of in between Glendale and Northern, right off 60. When did you guys actually open the brick and mortar?
Yes, it's in there. So we've been here about 3 months, and we're still doing the market. That's our home market at Uptown Farmers Market. So going on 3 months, we're open for lunch and dinner. On the weekends, just dinner, because that seems to be the crowd. And, it is seasonal crowd because they have the Glendale Glitters here. So probably come, the new year during the summer, we might change the hours up a little bit. But we've been here about 3 months now.
So 3 months, and obviously the pandemic has hit certain parts of the country hard. Because you guys don't really do indoor dining, it hasn't affected you that much that way. But in general, how are you guys doing during the pandemic? And obviously people are taking to the food, but how has that affected the way you run operations?
The market has been very, very good to us. A lot of people are very supportive, and again, they do social distancing. There's hand wash stations everywhere. We have our hand wash station, our sanitizer, and most of the people know what they want. They'll either message me to pre-order, text us, call us. We have their orders ready for them. They do a couple of other things with the market. It's called Gather Arizona Express. And so the actual market has a a part where they will pre-order the stuff and put it separate for the customers to do curbside pickup. We've done that. We've gone to some delivery because we have our ice chests that are permitted for that. And then there's a couple of other small companies that will take local goods and deliver them as well. So we're part of those organizations too. And then for here, we do run out, do curbside delivery as well. A lot of people, will call their orders in, we'll have it ready for them. And it's, again, no dine-in eating. We have outdoor seating. There's tables outside. We have a porch and stuff. So most people do take their food to go and eat, and then some people will sit outside. So it's not affected us that much because we didn't really know,
right?
Because we didn't have brick and mortar. But hopefully, once we get past COVID, business will increase and we'll be able to have people dining in. So.
Yeah, so that's good. You guys were almost set up, coming out of the farmers market to really, deal with without having a restaurant. And I just love some of the things that you have on your menu. And I was going through your Facebook page this morning, and people just rave about the ceviche. You talked about the jackfruit tamales.
Yeah.
Gosh,
that's our top seller.
Yeah,
we won an award for the tamales, so that helps us. We were in a program at ASU, and we did a competition, and we have competed against big companies that had their food trucks already established, and a lot of it was meat, and I wasn't sure, but I just wanted to get my name out there, so we went ahead and entered the competition, and we ended up getting the audience favorite, which was pretty cool because that meant a lot to those people that didn't know me. Yeah, and there was like 500 or 600 people there. It was huge. Oh. It was really nice, and we didn't expect it, so we were cleaning up and stuff, and then we heard our name. I was like, oh my God, we won audience favorite, so it's pretty cool.
Talk about the jackfruit, because a lot of people don't know what that is, and how you incorporate that into the tamale.
So jackfruit is a tropical fruit. When it's green, it has a texture like shredded meat. When you shred it up, when it gets too ripe, it's a little bit sweeter, so it kind of has like a pineapple mango flavor. So if you want to make a barbecue with it, that would be great. But when you want to do something that's more savory, you have to buy it green. So we get ours organic, and it's just the jackfruit. There's no brine. There's a lot of companies that will brine it, and it kind of has an olive taste. So a lot of people have a hard time with that flavor. So we did initially use the can, and you have to rinse it really well and dry it out. And it's a long process. So we found a place that is just a jackfruit. And so it literally looks like a bag of meat when we get it. And so we'll shred it up and season it. We do a red chili and a green chili, and we do a chili paste for the red, and then the green we do the fresh roasted chilies, tomatoes, and it's just like you're making green chili, but we just do the jackfruit and beef, and then we do a tacos al pastor with that. Ooh. So that's really good because you have to marinate with the pineapples and the garlic and all the seasoning, and we boil that, so it comes out really good. So, but yeah, it's just a matter of your preference on where you want to purchase it, how much work you want to put into it. So. For savory, I always recommend the green jackfruit. You can get it fresh, green. At some places, they'll advertise that. I think a lot of the Asian markets have it like that.
Oh, pretty awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. Next time I'm in Glendale in Arizona. First place I'm stopping is your place. And you also have jalapeno chickpea salad, spicy herb salad, sun-dried tomatoes. Talk about those a little bit as some of the peripheral items that you have, because those also sell like crazy.
Yes, those are a top seller. So, like I said, people do hummus, and I love hummus, but I didn't want to, do hummus since there's like 4 other hummus companies. So I figured we'll do something like a play on chicken salad. And so I did try the vegan mayo by itself, wasn't a fan of it. So I figured, we could do some kind of herbs or seasonings. And chipotle is a really good flavor. It's smoky, a little spicy. My customers do like spicy. So we figured we'd blend in the chipotles and the mayo, and then our seasoning mix, and then, fresh vegetables. So for chipotle, we do the carrots and celery and onion and kind of mash them up so it's like a chicken salad. And so you can do it as a dip, you can do it as a spread. People make sliders out of them, wraps, and then the jalapeno. I love roasted jalapeno, so we blend that in the mayo. And I'm a big texture person, so I like fresh jicama diced in there, some celery and onion. And then I'm like, we need to do a couple more flavors because, those people like them. And so I had gone to the store one day and saw sun-dried tomatoes. And I'm like, that would be good with roasted pepper. So we do one with that. And then I had never had fennel, and somebody was selling it at the market. And so I tried that, and it's kind of a licorice taste. So I like that. Right. So we put that in the sun-dried tomato. And then I love garlic. I love herbs. I love spice. So the newest one we have is a spicy garlic herb. So there's tons of garlic. We do dill and parsley, cilantro, lots of fresh herbs. And then that's a spicy one. So we do fresh serranos in that one with celery and onion. So again, it's just your preference. If you want super spicy, you want spicy medium. But all 4 of them seem to be doing really well at the market.
Oh, that sounds so good. All the spices and chilies that you guys add, just amazing. Have you gotten any flack from, sometimes you get the Mexican food purists that say, well, that's not real Mexican food.
Yeah.
Come on. Have you caught any flack from, some of the purists?
Some of the posts, somebody had tagged us in a post and then they were like, that's blasphemy. And we actually did a Facebook Live tamale demo. And we talked about, it was just going to be for because at one point we did pork, so it was just going to be for that. And then the guy that worked for the news station asked us about the vegan tamale, so I started talking about that. And we had a lot of really good compliments, and then we had somebody, that was not okay with that. So I invited him to come try a jackfruit tamale. He actually came to the market, and he was blown away by it. And so, he's come back a few times to buy the red chili jackfruit. But he did apologize for posting what he did the comment. It was pretty funny because when he tasted it, he was like, oh my God, this is, red chili.
Yeah.
And then we had somebody comment about the menudo because we use a mushroom. And so they ended up coming to the shop and they bought the menudo and they could not believe that it wasn't tripe. And they just said when they ate it, they didn't feel as bloated and stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, you get the flavor, but you don't taste the mushroom because it soaks up the red chili flavor. But as far as like people being super negative, no, we haven't had anybody like that. We might have somebody make a joke about it. Well, that's not really menudo or whatever. But for the most part, we've been very well received. So that makes me happy.
That's great to hear. Yeah, we've heard nothing but great things about it here at Hispanic Food Network. And we talked about it off camera. Anna, you're not a vegan full time. I mean, obviously you love the food, and the texture, and the taste, but you're not, and you're pretty open about that. But I mean, have you met?
Yeah, I'm very honest about that.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of people that love vegan food, but and I think this is something I want to clear up. You could love vegan food, but you don't have to be a vegan, right?
We do have a lot of customers that are not vegan. They'll do a meatless Monday, or they'll just pick one day out of the week where they don't eat meat. And a lot of their kids are vegan, so they bring a lot of their parents here to eat. And I have one girl that brought her dad, introduced me to her dad, and she's been a customer for at least a year or more. And so she brought her dad here, and he really liked it. She didn't tell him it was vegan food at first, and stuff. And so he just thought it was super tender because he did the tacos off the store. He thought it was like super tender, pork. And she's like, no, Dad, it's jackfruit. And so he came in to ask to make sure and stuff. So it's funny because we will get a lot of the family members, the parents will come in and say, is this vegan? My daughter says it's vegan, and it tastes like regular, because we do a bondigas, and that tastes a lot like the beef meatballs and stuff. So, but it's pretty funny. I'm like, no, it's really vegan. We're 100% vegan.
Well, we know you're doing something right if people can't tell the difference. So.
Yeah, we're tricking the dads. Yeah.
That's so funny. Before we start making the ceviche, I want to talk about you a little bit. You spent 20 years as an admin, in a professional career, and you've moved into this endeavor. I mean, this has kind of got to be a dream come true for you, because so many people, dream of opening their own restaurant or catering business. How challenging was it, and how scary was it also, in a sense, to say, oh my gosh, I've had this career for a long time, and I'm going to move into the food business full time?
Yeah, it was pretty challenging. I just remember working at my aunt's restaurant growing up, and I was around the kitchen, but I just really didn't pay too much attention. I was a hostess. I could take out, and I would help out in the back, make rice every now and then, and kind of help prep and stuff. But I never thought that I would do something like this as a living. And I even, in my 20s, worked for a stainless fabricator that made restaurant equipment. So I worked on this huge account, for a big chain. And I would be around the equipment every day, in the stainless shop. I'd run the prints out, to the guys to get stuff done. But I really didn't see myself, working on this, this end of it. Right. And then working in corporate America, we always did potlucks. I was an admin, so we organized all that stuff. And, I was always like the salsa person to go to for salsa. And then they would tell me, do you sell it? And I'm like, no, I don't, but, I'll bring some extra. You can take some home or whatever. So we did that. And then when I got laid off, my son was like, you should do the farmer's market, Mom. He's like, no, I don't think so. Let me think about it. And then, he talked me into it. And like I said, we started with hot sauce and salsa, and then little by little just adding this stuff. And I think what kept me going and adding more is the customer's response. And seeing people that haven't had a tamale in like 10 years. And, I had one girl sitting out front and she was in tears. What's my phone?
Oh, okay.
She was, and I thought she didn't like the food. And I was like, are you okay? I can get you something else. She's like, no, I haven't had the tamale, since her dad passed. And it reminded her of him. I was like, oh my God. So we were both like talking, because my dad passed when I was 5. He was in the construction business. So we talked about that, and we have a connection now, and she comes back as a regular customer to actually live in the neighborhood. And so they're back at least once a week, and they'll, bring the family to have dinner. And then I had another lady that told me she didn't like jackfruit, but she heard about the chickpea salad, so she got the chickpea salad. And so I was making the tacos at the store, so I gave her a little sample, and I said, well, take it home and, just warm it up. It's already cooked, and just put it in tortilla, corn tortilla, have a taco with it. And she did, and she has been back sometimes 2 times a week. So she likes the horchata. She'll get the horchata, the chickpea salad. And she came last night, and she's like, do you have the tacos? I'm like, no, we do tacos on Taco Tuesday. So she's like, I'll be back on Tuesday. But it's nice when, you have somebody that tells you they don't like something, or they had a tamale and the masa was really hard. And, I'm like, here, here's a sample, try it out. And, where we're at if you like it.
Yeah.
I figure, you might as well give it to them to see if they're going to try it. If they like it, they'll come back.
Those are great stories. Any advice for anybody who wants to start up their own business? A challenge that, you didn't anticipate, and maybe is some good advice for somebody out there?
Yeah. So that class that I went through, if you're local in the Valley and they have any type of, free small business classes, sign up for those, definitely sign up for those. They brought in the health department to talk to us, so they can tell you what type of permits you need, exactly, if it's an eating and dining establishment, if you're doing a mobile thing, because with my business initially, it's mobile. So I had to get a permit for a processing kitchen where we made the food, and then I had a permit for my ice chest because we actually moved it from the premises that we made it at. And they do come and inspect you at the market, and they inspect the kitchen. So just make sure that, you contact your local health department, because every state is different. Get all the rules and regulations down, because you want to go into it doing it the right way. You want to make sure that you have the proper permits, things like that. Because I've been at markets where I've seen people get shut down, and that's not So you want to make sure that you're following guidelines. To me, that's do it right. That's the most important thing, because then you can go, forward with your business and not have to worry. My family's been in the restaurant business since 1960, and there's like several in the Valley, and they are successful, they thrive, and they've done everything by the book. And so that's my big advice to people. I've had a couple of small businesses message me, and how challenging, there's farmers markets out there. There's so many places that will rent their kitchens. You get permitted, people rent their kitchens after hours, they're looking for extra money. Like I said, with COVID right now, there's a lot of people that are wanting to do that because, financially they're having to cut their staff in half and their occupancy in half as well to meet the CDC guidelines. So definitely reach out to, small business. Everybody right now seems to be collaborating, helping each other out. There's competition that we have at the market, and I do buy my chips local from a place, and I had run out. And so I asked one of the guys that has a salsa company, Los Muertos, and I said, hey, do you have any extra chips you can sell me? He brought chips to me, and so I'm talking about people that have big hearts and are willing to help each other. So I would suggest, if you know any local companies that, are small businesses, startups, talk to them, message them. Everybody seems to be so helpful. Another thing would be try to buy local produce. There's tons of farms that, either small, medium-sized, big at the markets. There's neighborhood farms that grow certain things. We're pretty good out here because year-round the weather's pretty nice. We don't have any snow or anything. So there's a farm up in South Phoenix called Project Roots. And they have a farmer's market as well. So we're talking to the guy there. We're wanting to buy their celery, their onions, because we go through tons of celery and onion. And actually in the ceviche, this is the white carrot. It kind of tastes like radish. So we bought some of those at the market to try it.
Yeah, so yes.
Definitely talk to other small businesses, talk to the kitchens out there. Tons of commissary kitchens, tons of shared kitchens right now. So those were not really heard of, years back, but now everybody's doing those. So it's, again, to help small business get to the next level.
That's great. Everybody's working together. Okay, I have one more question before we get to the ceviche. Raul's Cocina. Tell us why you picked that name.
Okay, so we named it in memory of my dad. He was a construction worker. He was actually going to school to be an architect, and that's what I majored in early on. Mm-hmm. So I was in junior college majoring in architectural drafting, thinking that's the career path that I was going to take. But he passed away when I was 5. He was killed in a construction accident. So I wanted to, do something in his memory. So here's our shirts here. But I didn't want to just be known for salsa, because I knew going on, eventually I would have something. I just didn't know what it would be. And so I figured Cocina is kitchen, so it entails everything in a kitchen. So I told my son, let's go ahead and go with Raul's Cocina, and then we'll do my dad as a logo. So there's a picture of him and my mom at a dance or something, and it's a really cool old picture, and he's got the handlebar mustache. So I figured that would be a great picture for that. So.
Yeah, and your son's been instrumental in marketing and really helping on the business side, hasn't he? I wanted to touch on that as well.
Yeah. So he does digital marketing for a living, and then he has a small company on the side, Birdie Marketing. So he handles the social media stuff and the Square, all the hack stuff, things like that. And I usually go over, recipes with him, and he's like, that's a good idea, and things like that. But, he's kind of in the background.
Yeah.
I think he's moving closer to the area, so he might be working more with him.
That's great. Okay, well, let's talk about this ceviche. Okay. I know you make a few different batches. Tell us what you got going on, Anna, and what we're going to make.
All right. So we do actually do 3 different ceviches, and they're all prepackaged. We take to the market, and then we sell them at the restaurant as well. So we do one that's the agua chili verde, and that's a little spicier. And it's got the pickled onion in it. And then we do a traditional one with the tomato sauce that's more like a shrimp cocktail. And this one I just came up with because it's really light, refreshing, and it goes really good on the tostadas. And a lot of people were asking if we had tostadas with ceviche, so I wanted to come up with something that we can serve during the week. So here's all the ingredients. We have the Chris has sliced everything super thin. So we have our cucumber seeded. We have orange juice for the citrus, some purple onion, and this is our chili sliced real thin. This is the radish. The red one's nice, but it does tend to bleed, so I like this white carrot. It's kind of like a radish. This is the hearts of palm. And then I usually like to do the mini tomatoes, the different colored ones, but I only found the red ones. So we did the red. And then this is a celery and our lemon or lime, and then we have our spice mix. So the spice mix is very simple for this one. It's salt, pepper, granulated garlic, and oregano. And then we're going to do a little bit of orange zest also. So I'm just going to, and it's a cup of everything. So we usually do batches to take to the market. So we've scaled it down a little bit to make it easier.
Right.
So this is the cucumber. So these are all 8-ounce containers, which is a cup. So it's real simple. Just fine dice everything and just throw it in the bowl. And it doesn't matter which one's first. Just I like to fold in the hearts of palm at the end because it's kind of delicate. So, and then if you're not into super spicy, you can scale down the chili. My customers like spicy, so we usually add more of the chili. And cilantro. Again, some people don't like cilantro. We like cilantro. So
how could you not like cilantro? I love you.
Oh God, I love it.
You could put cilantro on a
So this is the juice of it. I know, it's delicious. So this is the actual hearts of palm. So these kind of mimic calamari. They're not as chewy, but that's what a lot of people will say that to them calamari. We're just gonna do the spice.
Oh, that looks so colorful.
I'm going to do half. I know I love color. I like to buy the chilies too when they're kind of turning orange.
Yeah.
I just love the color in it. So, and then we do all roasted chilies. Like we don't have a walk-in, so we literally shop at least 3 to 4 times a week. So I'm just going to zest some of the orange. And I think this kind of helps with the heat because it's a little bit of sweetness in there.
Right.
And it smells so good. I love the way the orange smells.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't have one of these zesters, I think there's a little fine thing and a grater that you can use. But this does, if you can invest in something like this, it works.
Yeah, that's a neat tool.
Oh, I love this thing. And then usually it gets built up on there. So scoop it out. Let's stir this up. So again, kind of like just fold it in.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's really pretty, the colors. Kind of Christmassy.
I love
the red and white. And then it's, like I said, very fresh, not heavy. So this would be a good summer dish as well. And a lot of people that order this, we pack it separate and we just give them the shells with it. And they end up eating it in their car, they tell me, because they say to go and then they'll message me and say, we ate it in the car. We couldn't wait till we got home.
I know. I'm so guilty of that. I do that all the time.
And I always say, I'm going to throw utensils on just in case you change your mind. They're like, okay, and they end up eating it. But I do get a lot, like last night, this one lady came, she ordered, I think 5 dozen tamales. And I was like, well, how did you hear about it? She's like, oh, my friend told me about you. And she hadn't had the food yet. So I was like, oh, okay. So she messaged me last night that they ate some of the tamales, that she didn't do pictures because they just ate them. They were so hungry and they were so good.
Oh,
and so I told her, well, the next time you eat them, do a little story or something.
That's so funny. And you guys are taking some orders for New Year's, aren't you?
We're doing pozole and menudo orders, and we're going to have tamales as well. So, all right, that looks like it's good. So you can serve it. We'll put some in a bowl, like with chips, and then we're going to make a tostada.
Oh, wow.
So this is it's a nice dish. You could use it as an appetizer.
Yeah.
Some tostada shells back here. So when we do the tostadas, we do finely shredded cabbage, and we do a chipotle and a jalapeno mayo. And it's kind of the same base we use for the chickpea salad. So it does come out really good.
Oh, you're making me hungry.
I know, I wish I could send one to you. And so we just do like a fine shred of the cabbage.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm going to do the jalapeno one. That's my favorite.
Okay.
And then we'll do a chipotle one also. So when we serve it here at the restaurant, that's how we serve it.
Will you do me a favor and email me a picture of this so I could share?
Yeah, I will, absolutely.
Viewers, that would be
We'll
great.
take a picture of all 3 with the chip set up and then both tostadas.
Okay, perfect.
This one's a chipotle. And I had to get used to, garnish and stuff because, like I said, everything was prepackaged. But my niece that's filming, she's been in the restaurant industry for a while, so she was good at that. This is our chipotle one.
Oh, love chipotle.
Just a matter of preference if you like smoky or if you want the jalapeno. So we'll put these here.
And I gotta imagine those are really light, and I mean, it's perfect for Arizona.
Yeah, especially in the summertime. So that's what I was thinking. It's definitely good to stay on the menu.
Well, Arizona, it's kind of the summer all the time.
These are blue corn chips. So we go with the local guy, and then we just kind of tell him. We first started doing the white corn, and then he got this in. It's organic, non-GMO, and I have a lot of customers that eat very clean. So we cook very clean in this facility because it's an older, historic house. So there's no hood in here, so we don't fry at all.
Right.
So everything that we make is fresh and clean. And that's what I get a lot of people telling me, that the food doesn't make them feel so weighted down. But it does fill them up though. So.
Yeah, you could really tell that. I mean, it's light, it's colorful. Just even through the screen, you could tell it's popping with flavors, and oh man.
And I always hear you eat with your eyes first. If it looks good, you're gonna want to eat it. So.
Yes, I haven't heard that one in a little while, but that's something my mom used to say. You're eating with your eyes again.
Yeah. It's true. Because if I looked at something as a kid, it didn't look good. I was like, I don't want to eat that.
Oh, it's so true. Anything else you want to make, or are you good to go with those?
This right here, but I'd love to come back and do another recipe with you.
No, we're holding you to that because, like we talked about, you're coming back on Hispanic Food Network to teach some of these classes, and not to give away all your secrets, but I definitely want you on some more. Talk about before we stop the interview. There is kind of like a vegan community in the Valley going on, especially in the West Valley and parts of Phoenix. And how close is that community, and how much do you learn from each other?
They're very, very close. There's several Facebook groups that I'm part of, and when I first joined them, I said I have a vegan business. I'm not vegan myself, but we offer, because initially we had vegan options, and so they were good with that. I have a couple of really good friends that are vendors at the market that are vegan. They're full vegan. They're very good customers as well. And so I think it's been about 8 months since we went full vegan. And so everything that we cook here in the kitchen and at the market, it's completely vegan. I've had to learn to read labels a lot because there's things that I didn't know were not vegan, like just white sugar. I thought, well, how is it not vegan? Well, I guess when they sift it, it's sifted via bone char. So it's not just about what's in the actual product, how it's made. And a lot of them want to be responsible for the environment, you know, if it's a sustainable product.
Right.
So there is an issue with parts of palm. I know that if it's in a specific type of farm, and so I get mine, you know, from a specific vendor. And so once they're out, they're out. I can't make it again because I won't buy it anywhere else. So, and the same thing with jackfruit. The type of, a lot of people don't do the brine because there's something in the brine with the citric acid that they don't like. I don't know I forget what it was, but they don't like that. So it's like, I don't do that. A lot of them, you know, certain companies that may have bought a vegan company, if they don't practice what they believe, then they won't buy from them. So a lot of it I see on Facebook on the group pages, and then I'll ask, you know, there's some experts out there, but I do a lot of research. I don't just go by one source because there's so many different, you know, opinions and views, and so you have to get the facts first. So. Yeah,
well, that's good to know. I know you do your homework. You know, before I let you go, Anna, tell people one more time where they can find you, your website, social media platforms, all those good kind of things, and, you know, the best way to get a hold of you to order.
So again, the company is Raul's Cocina. You can find us Saturday at Uptown Market, Wednesdays for the new year. I think it runs through May. And address here is 7149 North 58th Drive. It's the historic district, Catlin Court district in Glendale. We're about a block from Glendale Glitter. So if you come in the evening, grab some dinner, go to the park, see the lights. That's it. I mean, our social media is Instagram, Facebook. Our website is under construction. Good news, we go on delivery platform. So not sure which one. My son's working on that now. So delivering eventually.
Yeah, no, go to their Facebook page, guys, because you're going to just salivate when you see all the pictures, and then you're going to go there really quickly.
And we do have a lot of reviews, great reviews, and customer recommendations. So I always tell people, look at Instagram, look at Facebook, because that's going to be your best bet, because it's other people that are vegan as well that will recommend us. So definitely, you know, if you want someone's expert opinion, go to the social media.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, Anna, thank you so much for joining us here on Barrio Chef on the Hispanic Food Network. I'm so fascinated by your food because it just looks so delicious.
Thank you.
And you're getting such great feedback. I really want the world to know about you. So thanks a lot. And, you know, hopefully we'll see a lot of you in 2021.
Yes, I'm hoping that too. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.